Namaskaram. Hi, good morning. It's actually maybe afternoon. It's Ian Carriger from Guru Yoga, and thank you for joining me today on this wonderful day. So hopefully wherever you are, you're enjoying the weather, but if you're not having great weather, hopefully you're inside making the best of it and doing some yoga. So let's begin. We'll start off sitting in this practice, and remember to go at your own pace. Don't feel that you need to get into every posture, but find a way to get into the posture and then find variations or options that work for you. So let's sit upright, and as you draw the eyes to shut, take the palms, face them to the sky, and connect your thumb to your index finger. As the chest begins to widen, and grounding from the tailbone, feel every part of your spine starting to lift. And then drawing the chin a little bit higher, your drishti in between the eyebrows, maybe in the middle of the forehead. And then establishing just a warm breath, inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling through the nose. I want you to slowly take awareness to that breath, as it's going to be your main source of focus, your pranayama, which will create dharana, concentration, this single point, regardless of what is around you, what thoughts may be going through your mind, what emotions may be going through that emotional body, and what you may be feeling physically. Come back to the energy of your breath, your pranayama. As your breath only brings you the truth. It's either you're alive or you're not alive. It's as simple as that. Within this practice today, we'll work on how to be better, how to be more humble, and how to involve yourself deeper within your practice so that you maintain consciousness to every part of this video. So continue to take the breath a little bit deeper, the chin a little bit higher. And your intention is to just relax. Give yourself the chance to relax, the opportunity to relax, if it's there. Only your mind stops you from wanting your truth of what you really want or what you really need. So really renouncing your thoughts, renouncing your wants and your desires, until all that remains is you sitting here right now, breathing, yoga, doing yoga. And as you begin to transition your weight from your right hip to left, feel a little bit of a spiral. Sending the spine up, breathing in, and then out again. Come back to center, take an inhale. Chin to the sky, full breath out to the mouth. We'll go 2 more times. Chin to chest, breathe in. Chin rising, exhaling. 1 more time, feel the lungs. And then let it go. As you bring the chin back to neutral, again, observing that there are no wants or desires which will lead you from thoughts that may creep in your mind or emotions that may be reoccurring within the body. Content with where you are right now. Hopefully content with being alive. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale again. And then slowly come forward. If you're on a block, come off it. We'll go into cat-cow. Right, BT-lasana, rotate the biceps towards the front of your space. You can tuck your toes under for the moment. And just start to move the spine. All right, find your spine in every articulation of movement here. Cat-cow, circles, snakes, figure eights, however you want to do it. All right, take your right shoulder towards the floor, palm face up. Extend the left arm, start to twist, opening up the chest, breathing in, and then out again. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, take a deep inhale, and then left arm floats to the sky, rotate it across the low back as you breathe out. So pulling that left shoulder away from your face. You want to twist through the mid to upper back, getting the chest to spin towards the sky. Breathing in, rinsing a little bit more. And as you finish the exhale, come back to center, switch sides. Taking the left hand now, palm facing up, left shoulder to the floor. Extending the right arm, breathing in, and then out again. Right arm high, inhale, across the low back, and then exhale. Get the chest to widen, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in. Turning a little bit more on the breath out. And remember the breath on the exhale, allowing the body to relax to get you deeper into the posture, whether it's a twist, a fold, a lengthening, a strengthening. Inhale again. And then come back to center, press into downward facing dog. Exhale. So spread the fingers, tuck the toes under if they're not already. Slight bend in the knees, head hangs. All right. Depending on whether the heels are on or off the floor, it doesn't matter. I just want you to extend the arms, slight bend in the elbows, external rotation of the shoulders, and the head hangs. So here you want to press the heels closer towards the floor, whether you need to pedal the legs out or just keep them grounding towards the earth. Still focusing on the breath. And then having those no wants or desires, right? Refrain from them, because that'll keep you present in the experience. Heels rise, inhale. Walk forward towards the front of the mat as you breathe out. Okay, bend the knees, chest to thighs here. Elbows to hands in front of the legs. You want to really dig deep into this posture, right? So the elbows completely hang, which will get the back of the neck and the shoulders to relax. And bend the knees here. So as you lift from the inner arches of each foot, just notice how the skull is just drawing towards the floor. It's about lengthening the spine forward on the inhale, and then folding closer to the earth, exhale. Now begin to just shift your weight to the right side, and then the left side. All right? So the hips are going to sway, and then the upper body may or may not sway, but it's more movement from the hips. Take a breath in. Hands grab the back of the ankles, exhale. Elbows wide, inhale. And then feel like you're pulling the upper body down to the floor on the breath out. Legs are straightening, inhale. And then slowly roll up to standing, Tadasana Namaskar on the breath out. All right, front of your mat, big toes touch to the gap in the heels, spread the fingers out nice and wide. We're here, yes. Looking maybe off the tip of the nose or maybe in between the eyebrows. It'll set you up to stand more upright with less stress in the neck and the shoulders. Hands to the sky, breathe in. Bend the knees, folding, exhale. Take a halfway lift to the shins on an inhale, and then step or jump back into a high plank, top of your push-up, yeah? So rotate the biceps forward, take a breath in, and pull the toes towards your belly button. If you need to go to the knees, you go to the knees. Otherwise, inhale. Lean forward a little bit more, right? Feel like you're pressing the hands back towards the toes, and then the toes back towards the hands. That will enable your pelvic floor, or mula bandha as we call it, to stay engaged, supporting the shoulders and the back, as well as the arms. Inhale. You can bring the knees to the floor first or lower down at 90 degrees with the elbows on the breath out. Beautiful. You go for a cobra, Bhujangasana, neck long, slight bend in the elbows. So squeeze the elbows tight, chin comes up, and you're still engaged in the core, pulling the belly button in instead of dumping into the joints. Neck long, inhaling. Tuck the toes under, press back, and then breathe out. So take your time with the breaths. Really lengthen them out. Allow them to relax not only the mind, but the muscles. Feet together at the back of your mat. Take your right leg to the sky. The left heel can ground or keep it lifted off the floor, but start to turn the hip open. Right? It doesn't matter how high the foot goes, either low or high, just as long as you're opening up from the right hand side. Breathing in, and then bending the right knee, pointing the toes to the outside of your left foot as you exhale. Twist even more, strong to the left arm. Inhale, press back, and then step forward, lowering the back knee as you breathe out. All right, so tendencies to take that knee forward. I want you to take the left knee as far back as you can, getting a deep stretch between the left knee and the right knee. So chest up nice and high. Take your arm on the inside of the right knee, and then start to lift the chin. Shoulder blades back, breathing in, and then out again. And start to lift the throat a little bit higher. Take a deep inhale. Chin higher, and then a full breath out. So just notice how that knee is kind of splayed out to the side, which is fine. You can take it forward or you can come off the front heel as an option if you're going to take it straight. But again, you want to lengthen that left leg back as far as you can. If you need a block, put a block underneath the leg to support the knee. But you really want to be on the muscle of the left leg rather than the kneecap or the top of the kneecap or the bottom of the kneecap. Tuck your toes under the left foot, lift the back knee. Inhale, and then step forward to the front of your mat, folding on an exhale. Good. Halfway lift, so keep the knees bent, spine is neutral. Curve the lower back, inhaling, and then take the right leg back, lower the back knee down, exhale. Chin high, breathe in. Shoulders away from the ears, and then exhale. So same thing, left shoulder on the inside left knee, and then start to lift the throat. And then feel the hips coming forward. So if the left heel needs to come up, let it come up, but send the right knee back. And here comes the breath. Focusing, relaxing, inhaling, and then exhaling. Take a breath in, and then slowly press back into downward facing dog as you exhale. High plank, inhale, lowering toward the floor, exhale. You can stay in cobra, which we did earlier, with a slight bend in the elbows, or into an up dog. Extend the arms, knees and thighs off the floor. Inhale. Tuck the toes under, core is engaged, right? Really press back. You're still on tops of the feet. And then roll the feet over. Press back on a breath out. This time, feet together at the back of your mat. We'll switch sides. Left leg high on a breath in. Turn the hip open, exhale. As you bend the knee, point the toes over to the right hip. Twist open a little bit more, inhaling, and then empty. One more breath in. Step forward, lower the back knee, exhale. So we'll take the left side first. Chest up nice and high, take a deep inhale, and then lift off the left heel as you exhale. So you're going to stretch on the inside of your left thigh and then the front of your right thigh. Breathing in. And then use your breath to relax the muscles, to relax the mind, to relax your emotions. Another inhale from here. Lift the back knee, step forward, folding on an exhale. Head towards the ground. Halfway lift, neutral spine to the shins. Breathe in. Step back with the left leg, lowering the back knee, exhale. So go back to the opposite side, chest up nice and high, shoulder blades back, breathing in, chin higher, and then exhale. So really feel like you're coming forward with the heart space, really light into the fingertips. All right? It doesn't matter how far you stretch forward as long as you feel the breath relaxing every part of you. And then the right heel lifts, take an inhale. Hands flatten, press into downward facing dog, breathe out.
high plank, breathe in. Low into the floor, elbows into ribs, exhale. Cobra or an up dog, inhale. Down facing dog, press back, exhale. Walk the feet forward towards the front of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then bow into a fold. Exhale. Take it to the sky, mountain pose, reaching up. Deep inhale. Hands at your heart. Exhale. So eyes are still closed, spine erect, chest wide, and you're relaxing your breath. Slight lift of the chin. Take a breath. And then a breath out. Hands as high as you can for the lungs. Bend the knees, folding again, exhale. Take a halfway lift, inhale. And then step back into a high plank, low plank, exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana, in other words. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog, breathe in. Tuck the toes under, right? So toes are still pointing away first. Now tuck them under. Down facing dog, release. Right leg high, breathe in. You're gonna come forward to warrior one. All right? So Virabhadrasana 1. You want to take your right knee to 90 degrees. If you're a beginner and you really have challenges with opening up that left hip or the back leg, just move your foot slightly forward. Turn the hip to square. All right. So if you're an external rotator, you're better at doing that posture than this posture when you're sitting. Then just move your foot out to the left. I'm an internal rotator, so I can move my foot directly behind the lead leg and still get my hips to square up. All right. But going to here, I have challenges with getting that hip to turn. So I'm going to start here. But if you're an external rotator, just move your left foot out to the side. And then we're going to take the hands up nice and high. Here, pull the shoulder blades back. Deep breath in. Sink a little bit lower on the exhale. So from the ground up, you're going to lift from the inner arches of each foot. Find that right knee over the baby right toe. Hips slightly square where you flex the left thigh. And then long through the torso, biceps in line with the ears. Then you can look up slightly. Try not to look down. We're here. Breathing in and then out again. A deep inhale. A little bit lower. And then empty. Fill the lungs. Reach up. And then we'll go back down to a low plank. Exhale. Up dog. Inhaling. Down facing dog. Exhale. Switch sides. Left leg high. Breathe in. Come forward, we'll go warrior one, right? Virabhadrasana 1. So right foot bent or right leg straight, left knee bent at 90 degrees, hands up nice and high, pull the shoulder blades back. So we're just doing the opposite side. Again, if you find that you're an external rotator with your right side, just move your right foot off to the edge of the mat. Otherwise, you can take it directly in line if you're an internal rotator. Otherwise, we're here. Biceps in line with the ears, left knee bent to almost 90 degrees. And then the chest wide and square with the front of your mat. So once you get over the physical aspect of this posture, then it comes back down to meditation. So learning the fundamentals of the pose first, because really it comes back down to the breathing. Not wondering whether you're doing the posture physically right or wrong. Right? Everybody has individual capabilities physically with their body, different leg lengths, different arm lengths, different torso lengths. So you go what works best for you, and then we go from there. Inhale again. Hands back down to the floor. Low plank. Exhale. Up dog. Breathe in. Strong through the arms, right? You want to keep the core engaged, and then tuck the toes under. Press back into downward facing dog. We'll go again. Feet together the back of your mat. Right leg high. Take a breath in. You're going to sweep forward, right? Shoulders over the wrist. Then step. Lower the back heel. We're going to go to warrior 2 this time. Virabhadrasana 2. So right knee bent at 90 degrees, left leg nice and straight, and then the arms lengthen. Hello. Chest up nice and high, shoulder blades back, and then feel like you're tucking the tailbone underneath. So look over your middle right finger. So really get the arms to stretch wide to get the chest to open up, and then feel like you're squeezing the heels underneath your tailbone. Breathing in, a little bit deeper. And exhale. And As you lengthen your left leg, right, really flex the quad, the front of the thigh. Take one more inhale. And then go back down towards the floor, low plank, exhale. Shoulders forward, right, elbows into ribs. You can go into cobra here or an up dog there. Breathe in. Core is engaged, tuck the toes under, press back, and then exhale. Left leg high, breathe in. Shoulders as far forward as you can. Bring the knee with momentum to land softly on the mat. Warrior 2, opposite side. So we're going here, relaxing the shoulders, pressing on the outer edge of the right foot, and then left knee bent at 90 degrees. Breathing in, a little bit lower, and then exhale. So start to open up the chest on this side. Again, it depends on what's happening with everything beneath you. So depending on what's happening in the legs will determine what's happening with the arms. So as long as you get a nice stable base, left knee out, inner left thigh rotating up, the arms can go a little bit wider and a little bit straighter with the chest, or wider. Breathing in. Tuck the tailbone underneath, shoulders relax, exhale. Now press on the outer edge of your right foot. Take one more breath here. And then back down to the ground, low plank, exhaling. Up dog, inhale. Down facing dog, press back, exhale. So we're going to do that sequence in order. We're going to take right leg up, take a breath in, come forward for warrior 1. So step, even if you have to take a couple steps forward. We're here, hands nice and high. Take a deep inhale. Shoulders relaxed. And then breathe out. So close the eyes here for a moment. I want you to just observe this posture with the eyes closed, not trying to see it or focus on it visually. I want you to feel it. Breathe in. Lower with the hips. And then exhale. Chest wide, feel the lungs, and then the arms spread wide for warrior 2 as you exhale. Right? So right arm forward, left arm back, about shoulder height, and then lift the chest, right? The chin towards the right hand. Still with the eyes closed. If you move, you move, right? Not go anywhere. You're still on the mat, focusing on your breath. Take a long inhale. And slowly bring the hands to the floor at the front of your mat. Take the right leg back, low plank, breathe out. Up dog again, or cobra. Inhaling. Tuck the toes under, press back with the core engaged, exhale. Left leg high, breathe in. Coming forward with the knee, warrior 1, exhale. Close the eyes, hands above your head, and now start from the ground up. Once you set up physically, just focus on the breathing. Reach high with the hands, inhale, and then let it go to Virabhadrasana 2, exhale. So warrior 2, shoulders relaxed, chest up nice and high, still focus on the breath.
Then she was telling me about a Saturday class and how to count it out in the night.
Another breath here, and then back down to the ground into a low plank, exhaling. Cobra and up dog, inhale. Down facing dog, press back, exhale. So really have a slight bend in the knees, right? A little micro bend in the elbows, head hangs. Still focusing on your breath. And feel like you're trying to push yourself away from the front of the mat. It's a lift of the spine. Trying to get your hips to go up and back. It's clear space for the vertebra to lengthen. Breathing in. And then out. Focusing just on the breath, nothing else. One more inhale. And then slowly come to the knees. Virasana, exhale. So hero pose. We can sit here, right? I'll come to the front. Or if you have a block or pillow, I want you to just have that between your legs. All right? So this is a hero posture. Eventually you should be able to do it either with the hips on the heels or your hips on the ground with the heels on the outside of your hips. So it's another posture here that helps support the knee and the ankle to lengthen and stretch them out, but also heals them if you have any issues previously with the hips, the knees, or the ankles, or all three of them, or just 2 or 3, whatever. And I want you to draw the eyes shut. And I want you to relax into this posture. Palms could be on top of the thighs, facing down or up. But if you're on a block, you're going to start to work your way, right? Initially on the block. Once you find that's a little bit easy, you're going to start to move the block back a little bit to that position. And then from there, if you find that that's comfortable for you or somewhat bearable, you come back to the heels underneath the hips. Right, it's basically what you can tolerate with your mind. Right? Are you letting the mind take over, or are you going to take over your mind? Who controls who, or what controls what? And eventually coming out a little bit further, taking the feet on the outside of the hips. You can still have the glutes raised off the floor slightly, or completely on the floor. But make sure that the spine's upright and the shoulders are relaxed. So various options, right? Stages of different postures that you can do based on your ability, based on any injuries, based on your level and your experience. So continue to breathe, slow those breaths down. Because by slowing the breaths down, the thoughts will slow down, the emotions will slow down, the muscles will slow down. And you begin to experience the essence of yoga. Your connection with yourself, your connection with this universe. Observing rather than reacting. That's what happens. We react to what we think or what we feel, rather than having a non-attachment to the outcome of that reaction. Do we need to react? Does there need to be an outcome or an achievement? Or are you just here to experience life? Fulfilled life. In a more joyful, peaceful way. Take a breath in. And then slowly release. Come forward onto the hands as you exhale. So you can tuck your toes under, right, just to release that last posture. And we're going to sit on a block. Yes. If you have a pillow there, sit on a pillow. So we're going to take the soles of the feet to touch. We're going to get the knees to go wide. Right? So releasing the ankles from that last pose. Spine sits upright. So again, if your knees are high, that's fine. Right? Try to splay the feet open. So again, it depends on the ability of the ankles, right, or the flexibility of the ankles. So you can splay the feet open. Heels may or may not need to touch. Right? Depends on how tight your ankles are. I want you to just sit upright. You can grab the ankles, you can take the hands, forearms to the knees. And it comes back down to this peaceful state of being. Unclog your thoughts. Let the energy pass through you rather than storing it. When you store it, we call it tension, we call it stress, we call it anxiety, we call it depression. However you want to describe the psychological drama that you've collected and held on to, rather than being non-attached to those aspects that don't improve your life or don't contribute to improving your life. Take one more inhale. And then we're going to come forward with the arms, yeah? Exhale. So extend the arms as far forward as you can. So really getting the belly button over the toes, or reaching further with the belly button over the toes. Getting the chest to widen. Breathing in. And then out again. Take one more inhale. And then fold a little bit more on the breath out. Cool. We're going to come up. All right, so we're going to do pigeon now. All right, Rajakapatasana. So definitely use a block. All right, unless you can get your left hip crease completely flat on the floor, just use a block. I've always needed a block. It's based on not necessarily the musculature of my hips, but more the skeletal part, so the bone. So take your shin parallel to the front edge of your mat, 90-degree angle, all right? And then your left hip, you want to press it down towards the floor, all right? Here you want to keep the chest upright and you want to stay square in the midline of your mat or the midline of your body. Right hip, since we got the right leg, you want to draw it back on the inhale, and then you're going to feel like your left hip is drawing forward on the exhale. So it's a subtle movement, right? You're not trying to force yourself forward. You want to just relax the muscles, relax the body, relax the emotions, relax the mind, which will allow you then to just do yoga. And then ideally you want to stretch these hips in this position for about 5 to 6 minutes. For this purpose of this video, we're going to do it for a couple minutes, but I want you to focus on lengthening the spine forward, leading with the belly button over the calf. And just breathing into that right hip and that left hip on the exhale. So continue to send the spine forward, right? The belly button, lengthen. You want to have that neutral position of your spine. I see a lot of rounding like this, trying to get as low as they can. It's not about how low you can get. It's basically how far you can bring your spine forward, enabling you to correctly release the hip. This is where you want to get your exhalations to be lengthened, almost double of what you take on an inhale. Take a breath in. Lean forward a little bit more, yeah? Exhale. Good. And then come back to center. We're going to switch sides. So taking the block on the left side again. It depends on what's happening with the hip. Remember, no two hips are exactly the same. It's very rare. So I tend to start off with my left hip a little bit higher to start off with, and then I work my way down on the block. So toes pull back towards the knee to support the joint on the knee. Right hip moves forward, left hip rotates back. Arms are straight. You can go to the fingertips. Lead the belly button forward on an inhale. And then get this little bit of a rotation with the hips on the exhale. It's not about being completely still. It's about the stillness within the mind, but the physical body is moving in various ways. In order to release energy, in order to heal, in order to feel empowered, in order to do yoga. Eventually, again, there's no desires, no wants, and then you go straight into a deeper state of meditation, where the breath may be your single point of focus, or may not. And the awareness comes to the conscious self. need to bring the arms forward, right? Still straight, just getting the belly button to lengthen a little bit more. Deep breaths in. Longer breaths out. Keep pressing that right hip to the front of your mat. And keep drawing the left hip away from the front of your mat. One more inhale. Lengthen. Rotate. And then exhale. All right, so we're going to come back. Yeah. So now I want you to just cross your legs. So we're going to sit in this position. You can put your left foot under, right foot over. Half lotus is this position, or you can just cross your legs if you like to with both feet on the floor. Or if you can go into full lotus, go for it, right? So now our hips are somewhat released. I want you to just sit here with the palms facing up, thumb connecting to your index finger, and then slow everything down, right? Want to release energy from the hips. It tends to work its way up. And certain thoughts, emotions, the subconscious is stored in that area of the body, as well as the unconscious beneath that. So give yourself, or allow the time, just let whatever come to the surface, observe it, and then release it. In many cases, we're not aware of what we've experienced previously. We either block it out, or maybe we store it and allow it to reoccur in our minds, thinking that it's our reality, which it isn't. Because it's just within the mind, which is technically within the body. But it does take time to just let go. You have that clear decision to either hold on to something, which may have no use for you, or let go of something, which also has no use for you. And you start to notice it begin to feel lighter, less weighed down, right? Less baggage. Feel the lungs. Relax with the shoulders as you exhale. And then coming off the block, we're going to extend the legs. You can take them nice and close. You can bend the knees. You can place a block underneath there if you can't get them completely straight, because we want to bring the chest to the thighs, right? Hands nice and high. Take a breath in. Lean forward, so bend the knees. I want the chest and rib cage and the belly button to be in contact with the thighs, and then grab the outer edges of each foot. If you need a strap, use a strap. Alternatively, if you can get your legs to straighten, make sure that you still have your legs and chest in contact with each other. Right? Because it's not so much for the legs to being stretched out, it's really for that lower spine, right? The lumbar spine, the sacrum, the coccyx or the tailbone area. And you want to feel the top of the head reaching forward towards the tops of the feet. So here, active hands and arms, trying to drag the elbows back towards the hip. So it's a lengthening on the inhale, and then settling on the exhale, right? Pull the spine forward on the breath in, using the arms, and then relaxing towards the ground on the breath out. There's something constantly happening within every posture, whether it's a twist, a fold, an extension. Even when you're sitting upright, you're trying to get the body to completely relax, so the muscles relax, so the mind relaxes. And then take one more breath in, and then releasing, slowly coming up on the exhale. We'll take one twist, so it'll be a kingfish posture. So left leg stays straight, right foot on the outside of the left knee. Just make sure the knee's in line with the left leg. We're going to take the right hand behind us. If you need a block, take a block, all right? But you want the hand right against the spine, all right? Against the tailbone. So you can use your arm like a stake. Arm straight. You're going to take your left arm high on the breath in, and then the left arm on the outside of the right knee as you breathe out. So the shoulder, the left shoulder and right shoulder should be in line with the left leg and the right knee. So if it's just twisted here, it's fine, right? But you're going to work your way to lifting up on the breath in and then turning on the breath out. So really pulling the belly button in, the spine lifts on your next inhale, and you're going to turn, relax the body on the exhale. Draw one more, breath in. Rotate, exhale out, come back to center. We're going to switch sides. Taking the left foot now to the outside of the right foot. You're going to take your left arm behind you. Again, if you need a block, use a block. Right arm's going to go high on the breath in. So get that length, and then right elbow on the outside of the left knee, exhaling. And a twist, even if it's on the top, right? You want to lead this stretch by getting the chest on the right hand side to open up. And then start to look over your left shoulder. Crown goes up on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. Beautiful, coming back to center. All right, so you can sit comfortably now, chest up nice and high. And then we're going to take the hands to the heart space, right? Thumbs connecting to the chest. We're going to honor this space, your heart space, at least once a day, right? Take the time for you and only you to replenish, rejuvenate, and recover. And then take the hands to the forehead, slight bow of the chin. Satchitananda Soham. Namaste. Cool, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me. That is a how-to for beginners and intermediate as well. Even if you're advanced, you can still do that. But thank you for joining, and have a good rest of your day.